Yeah, we live now. Hey, what's the deal? It's your boy Klasic from Klasic Live. We got the homie Corn Dog in the building right now, man. Hey, before we get started, I'm gonna need y'all to hit that like, share this video. If y'all new, subscribe to the channel. If you're on a different platform, hey, be sure to repost it. Be sure to hit that like, hit that heart, share this. Do what you got to do to get us in the algorithm, man. We finally hit our first 100 subscribers. So, hey, much blessings, much respect, peace to everybody that shows support. And today we got a topic talking about is the Nipsey Hussle marathon brand being targeted. Now, when I'm saying being targeted, I'm not saying like, well, this is what I'm saying. Are they being targeted by, allegedly the police and everything, or are they being targeted by people that's within their own community, meaning rival gang members or just anybody that's of the same background of where Nipsey and Black Sam came from. So I got a couple of pieces of information I'm gonna share, but overall, bro, like, what's your thoughts about this, Corny?
Yo, man. That you know what? Me, I looked at the video that you sent me and all that. The one with AI Prophet, or was it Al Prophet or AI Prophet?
Yeah, Al.
Yeah. My take on it, dude, was like, yeah, like my take on it is like, man, I mean, honestly, that's us. That's us fucking up. It's the same as like, when niggas go to a concert, it's always one nigga that's gonna take, you know what I'm saying? So with that being said, it's like, we all need still to learn, how to be humble on some things like that when we trying to show love and respect to a black owned business that we trying to support out there. You know what I'm saying? And that's what happens when you got, that one bad seed in the crowd. You know what I mean? And it get turned up like that all the time. It happens anywhere. You know what I'm saying? Like, it didn't happen at Marathon Burger. No, it didn't happen there, but it was in the vicinity. It was around the corner. If the Marathon Burger opening wasn't happening that day, nobody would have got shot. Nobody would have lost their life that day. And that's real. You know what I'm saying? If he was there for the marathon opening, you know what I'm saying? Even though if it did happen a block away or whatever, they said it happened around the corner. But that's just us messing up a good thing again. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah,
that's how
hey, salute to us at in the West.
I
What's up
see
with
it.
it, homie?
What up,
Hey,
man? I'm
Set in the West.
getting
What's up?
prepped for my nephew. He's gonna perform. I was just like, let me tap in real quick. What's good? I know
I
y'all just got
appreciate that,
started.
man. Yeah, well, first of all, shout out to D Love. Hey, big congrats to Classic Music. And we hit the goal of 100 subscribers. Appreciate that. And she says, salute to who's up here on the panel. Now, we talking about the whole marathon brand. Is it being targeted by the police or our own people getting in the way of the legacy of what's going on? And the homie Corn Dog just said that he believed that it's us getting in the way of what Black Sam is trying to further pursue after Nipsey Hussle passing.
Hold on. There's gonna be music in the background. Hold on one second. But I think it's
Yeah,
I think it's the police.
you think it's the police? Now, after doing some research on everything, I seen that the Marathon Burger have 4 different locations, and out of all 4 locations, 2 of them are in affluent neighborhoods, and then you have the one that's in Long Beach. And the people, the people that were basically victims of what's going on, like I seen a video on Instagram, and this what really sparked my brain about everything. The guy was saying like he didn't like how the news coverage covered that there was a shooting in front of, or a pew pew pow pow in front of the Marathon Burger. It wasn't in front of the Marathon Burger, it was around the corner. But like the homie Corn Dog said, if there wasn't no grand opening that day, nothing would have ever happened. And if you look at the people that actually were involved in that incident, you have one person that's from 83rd and Hoover, and then you have somebody else that was from Rolling 80s, which is a West Coast Rolling 80s. So that's a Long Beach set. So it basically sounded like two people clashed and they got into it as they crossed paths up there. And what brought them there was the grand opening of the Marathon Burger. Now, I can show a picture of the guy that was involved with everything. Like, I'm gonna have to drop everybody down so people can see what I'm talking about, but I'm about to show these pictures and then I'm gonna bring everybody back. So yeah, I'm working on getting that together, but the pictures that I showed, one was the guy from Hoover. He called him Treyway 7. And then the other guy that lost his life that was from Rolling 80s. I couldn't get a hold of his hood name and everything, but those the people that ended up getting touched up there. Now, we do know that it started in front of the Marathon Burger, and there's clips circulating. Black Sound was trying to intervene and calm down the situation and stuff, but then they took it somewhere else. So I do believe, like, I like how both of y'all, I like how Set in the West said that he think it's the police, and I like how Corny said that he think that is us. And honestly, I think two things could be right at one time, but in this particular situation, I think it's more of the crowd that was there. This isn't the first time that we have something that we should be celebrating, and then you get one bad apple per se that's looking to stir some stuff up for their own personal agenda.
You probably not old enough to remember Magic Johnson theaters when they basically made it to where you can't even wear no hats in Magic Johnson Theater. It's the same. It's the same stuff. I remember being in there like, because I used to work at the General Cinema at South Bay. Totally different demographic. You know what I mean? White, right? And then you go to the Magic Johnson Theater, and they have a trailer that's like Magic Johnson taking off people's hats. You can't wear a hat. It's goddamn ridiculous. But I understand and I get it. You know what I'm saying? So you got a point when it comes to just like the people, and you gotta kind of give thanks. You gotta kind of set parameters in place for the people so that there's no issues. But a hat still ain't gonna prevent anything. I don't think anybody really official. Well, no, there was some pow pounds that happened at Magic Johnson, but it was pretty much contained. Like, it wasn't nothing crazy like all the time. And that didn't damage the brand. I'll just say it like that. I think the police and the media is definitely invested in making sure that Marathon brand is associated with violence. If I just brought up the history of the Marathon. I mean, Magic Johnson Theater. I know if you old enough, you remember.
Yeah, that's all I'm saying, man. Because you're right. It was no hats. You definitely couldn't wear any type of attire that was like any sporting, kind of gang related type of attire and stuff. I was younger, but I definitely do remember that was going on. And even the Walmart that they built over there, I think they shut it down, but that was ransacked to where people treated it like trash. So I do believe in history that's shown that there's been times that outside forces definitely try to get rid of any good things that we have going on. But in this particular situation, I do believe if they didn't have a opening that day, nobody in that particular area would have been, pow pow. Now, Wolf, question. I know I understand you, because when I was hearing the guy on Instagram making his case that he was pleading, I understood what he was saying, but then I had to realize, like, you know what, if they wasn't having that grand opening that day, then all that stuff wouldn't have happened. Though people gathered over there because of the certain situation. So is that outside forces, or is that people from different hoods not getting along?
I mean, it obviously is hood-ish, but I'm just saying the media was so quick to,
say it happened in front of,
right.
Okay.
Right.
Anything you gotta say about that, Barney?
I mean, when it comes to the media, when it comes to some hood stuff, they really don't know nothing. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it didn't happen at the vicinity, it didn't happen inside, it didn't happen outside. You know what I'm saying? It happened down the street. You know what I'm saying? And with that many gathering of people, of course, if you a hood nigga like that, it's gonna be other hood niggas there. You know what I'm saying? Everybody gonna be there. You gonna see everybody. So with that, you don't see enemies. And I heard the dude was coming there when he came there. He came there turned up, already to start some trouble. You know what I mean? So, like I said, that one little dude in the crowd, you know what I'm saying, messed it up for everybody. You know what I mean? Like that right there, man. That right there is, to me, I just see it as self-hate, man. Like you hate yourself, you don't want nobody else to come up. You know what I'm saying? It's like, man, it's just ridiculous to me, dude. Like, it's a shame too, man, because he's the one that lost his life, right? The one that got turned
up. To be honest with you, I'm not sure if he actually started it, but I'm assuming the other guy, because the guy that they said he got popped in his cranium, he was it's crazy. He's from Hoover, right? And you know that recently, or not too long ago, remember that they had that big pow over there off of Fig. It happened, like, let's say, like 2 months ago, but the Fig area and over there by the Hoovers, it really been going down to where off of Fig and off of Broadway, a lot of people been getting unalived and a lot of people been getting touched up. Wait, hold up. We got D-Love saying shaking my head. We got Barbara J saying, hey everyone, what's up, Barbara? D-Love, okay. Lou is my favorite.
Barbara.
Odell, I think so, said in the West. Yep. Okay, I'm caught up on all the comments, but yeah, I think the actual guy, the dude that said that he got popped in his top, I'm thinking he's the one that escalated everything, because he was already on some other stuff with the Hoover stuff. So maybe he was just looking to try to start some stuff. Now, another thing that I saw that kind of caught my attention, and the reason why I was saying, like, as far as the brand and them being targeted, let me show y'all some more pictures. Some documents that leaked, and this is talking about a little bit before Nipsey Hussle ended up losing his life in this situation with Black Sam. So let me drop down and then show y'all these pictures real quick.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, now
Yo. That right there, ain't that what Wack was talking about?
Man, that dude Wack be talking
I
about
think
so
that's what
much
Wack was
shit. I
talking
don't
about.
even know.
But
let me read it for these
yeah,
people.
he was
It says
saying
a
something
man was
about
punched, hit over the head with a lead pipe, and poked up in the back at the store on September 14, 2018, resulting in a deep laceration, possible traumatic brain injury, and vision loss, according to the eviction notice filed by property manager EY Sung. And then in the second one, it says the victim who was also a rolling 60 may have arrived at the store with a gun intended to shoot Ashkadam. Deputy District Attorney Alice Kerr wrote in a memo explaining why she declined to prosecute. The beating may have been done in self-defense or an attempt to disarm the victim, she wrote. And then the last one, it says, police records show that Samuel Ashkadam was arrested on suspicion of attempted M in the case, but within weeks, the LA County District Attorney's Office dropped the charges. So basically, a Rolling 60s member went up to the store and allegedly he had a pistol on him to the point to where Black Sam had to bust him over the top with a lead pipe. And he hit him so hard, the dude might be suffering from permanent visual, permanent brain damage.
Brain damage?
Yes.
Visual loss and brain damage?
Well, he said he was concussed and everything, and he lost vision. So he could be blind and have brain damage from you get hit on the head like you think that's not gonna happen with somebody playing Babe Ruth with your scalp, bro? Yeah, man. So the reason why I brought that up is wait, what somebody said? D-Love said he ran up and got knocked back. Hey, yeah. So that store over there off of Slauson and Crenshaw, it had a lot of problems to where you had situations where even Munchie B talked about it, to where the Inglewood families ran up in there. You had this situation where a Rolling 60s member ran up in there with a pistol, and Sam had to correct them on that. And you know about the other situation where they were saying that Big U wanted to DP Nipsey and everything. So that's what I'm saying. This has something to do with the police, or this is another case of people hating and trying to sabotage the brand?
Man, come on, man. That sounds very interesting to me because I didn't know nothing about that. He was busted over the head. That's a serious charge right there. You know what I'm saying?
It's
the dude
attempted
suffered from bodily damage, probably memory loss or whatever, brain damage, vision. Hey, it sounds a little extreme, but busting somebody over the head with a pipe, that's a big charge right there. You know what I'm saying? Now, for that mysteriously to go away and be dropped by the DA, was it the DA that dropped that? What?
Yep.
He said, I really shouldn't be laughing. Yeah. But it was the DA that dropped it?
Yeah. Because hey, they said from the evidence of what's been shown, it looked like Sam was defending himself. So yeah, you bust somebody over the head, you know what I mean? Got them seeing them birds and all that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So dude didn't pull out the whip. Dude that came there with the wham, right?
Yep.
Yeah, so I don't know. He didn't pull it out, I guess. I guess they just came to beat him up or something. But yeah, man. For the charges to be dropped, man, like that means that whoever I guess he was that he attacked didn't pursue it. You know what I'm saying? He said, I ain't trying to pursue this. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's how it probably got dropped.
Well, a couple of things. One, they gangsters, so yeah, of course you're not going to the laws. And two, if you already know that you was in the wrong, I don't think that you're going to try to pursue anything, bro. And like you said, hitting somebody over the head with the pipe, just imagine you doing that full force on somebody. Yeah, that can definitely crack somebody's skull. That can definitely damn near unalive you for sure. You know that freak accidents happen to where people done lost their life. So imagine if you did that full first force on somebody, like you really trying to hit a home run, bro. Like it's really gonna be some problems for that person. And I believe that yes, they could be partially blind or all the way blind from that happening, especially depending on what part of the head that they hit you in. So, you know,
yeah. I mean, but that's some serious shit. But honestly, dude, I don't think that's got nothing to do with no police, no law enforcement, or nothing like that, man. Like I said, I think dude that, you know, maybe he at the time the cops was like, yo, you want to press charges? And he was probably like, yeah. All right, then the things is probably about to go to court, and then he was like, oh, I ain't showing up in court, nigga, I'm gonna be a snitch. Some shit like that, you know what I'm saying? So and then the charges got dropped.
Yep. And that's what I'm saying is I don't want to, you know, put no blame on anybody, but my question is, what was the reason for them running up in there? Was he sent by somebody?
Right.
You know, and one of the
now you're getting somewhere. You cooking now.
That's what I'm saying. Like one of the craziest like catchphrases, you know, for the rolling 60s is like, you ain't a real 60 unless you can finish that for me, right? Yeah, well, they say you're not a real 60 member. Exactly. You're not a real 60 member unless you get you a 60s member. So that's very treacherous to where it's like it's basically no honor amongst thieves. And it's already been documented that there's a lot of tension going on between like Big U and Nipsey, to the point to where not Big U, but Nipsey was getting it. Well, I can't even say Nipsey was getting bigger than a program, but Nipsey was becoming basically one of the biggest Rolling 60 members to be known. And this is just my thought. Maybe Big U didn't like that. Like, who knows? So, you know, there's always tension within the group. There's always, like you said, there's always going to be that one bad one. And no matter how much good you can be doing for somebody, how much you looking out for them, it's always going to be that one person that's looking for more, and they're going to feel some type of way that you're in a established position that they can't, you know, do the same thing that you're doing. So, yeah, D Love said, right, who sent him?
Right.
And that's a good question. It's like, where did that come from?
Yeah.
And that situation happened. Let me see. It said that it happened in September. It said that it happened in September 14th, 2018. And then Nipsey Hussle lost his life March 31st, 2019.
2 months later?
No, September and then March. So like 5-6 months later or whatever.
Yeah. That's like,
you know,
6 months.
And just because it wasn't a month later, like they say, there's no time on get back. Sometimes you want to wait a year or so to do what you got to do to make sure you're not the prime suspect of something.
I understand that philosophy right there.
Yeah, so it is very crazy that happened. And like I said, who knows? And I came across something else also. Now, I'm not sure if y'all know about this, but hold up. Now, it's somebody that's from Chicago, and he go by the name of Big Folks. He got this story because I guess he was there firsthand, man. Matter of fact, let me share the screen. Shout out to Say Cheese TV. Now, big folks say 6 Mexicans in Chicago try to unalive Nipsey Hussle because the 60s robbed the cartel. Now, let's see what he had to say about the. Like, Corny, you heard about the situation?
Yeah, I heard about that.
Okay. Yeah, so let's see what he got to say about it, man.
Motherfucker got out.
Wait. The Mexicans in Chicago tried to kill Nip?
Yeah, news too, because his homie Grandpa, the same, I said this on No Jumper too, to Flocka. The same nigga that was with Nip that he got killed, you know, he was with his homie that day in the parking lot, and the nigga that ran away, like took off fast as hell, that was Grandpa. But like I was saying, like, I know he got a lot of grief for running away, like, you know what I'm saying? Because like you, Sean Cotton, whoever's around you, like Charles White, I know you helping his career. Nigga, if somebody get to blowing at you and that nigga run off on you, the nigga like me gonna look at you like, damn, that's not honorable. But that man, he your lifeline, and he shot, like, save him, do something, nigga. So, but I'm like, I know he was going through a lot in LA with real niggas on his ass about that and this and that. But I'm like, well, they missed the part where he really did that shit in Chicago. When they pushed Nip on the bus, locked him on the bus. We had drove off because we really was securing them that night. They had one security. They was on the tour. He was on that $100 tape tour shit. And 6 Mexicans with Crenshaw shirts on came behind. Matter of fact, at the concert, Sean, it was fucking 100 Mexicans with colorful Crenshaw shirts on the south side of Chicago. I'm already like, man, what's to this? And we went backstage. Nip like, man, hey, keep y'all head up because, some shit went on back home. He did, and that's so I can say it. It's the 60s or whatever, they had robbed the motherfucking cartel for like 300 keys of heroin. And they know he traveling and this and that, so he was an easy target. They was going to kill him to hurt the 60s type shit. You see what I'm saying?
Wow.
Yeah, so that's we found out everything.
Yo, this is a Say Cheese exclusive right here.
Yeah, that's why they was gonna kill Nip, you know what I'm saying? But Nip, they had nothing to do with that or nothing. Like he was telling me, he's like, I don't got nothing to do with that, but the homies back home, they did some shit. So it's like the Mexicans was at war with any nigga from around there. They caught you with a white t-shirt on, they was killing you type shit in LA. All types, well, that shit, we got a big Mexican presence too in Chicago, Humboldt Park and all that. They monsters too. So I guess they got the kite to go ahead and do them. And they tried to do them because, mind you, they got a nigga like, they got a goofy ass security with him like on some Dewberry shit. Like your boy Charles the White homie Dewberry that think he can whoop shit. I swear to God, listen, they had a nigga like that with him from LA. Like, man, all right, I got the gun on me, I'm big as hell, I'm gonna knock a nigga out. Big, slow, dumbass nigga. I swear to God. So we thinking we pulling off, me and my nigga Shorty 6, we pulling off. We got sticks on us, we pulling off. We got mouse and everything. We just sent shot in the back, me and Shorty, we on the low end, so we chilling. We about to leave. We done got drunk all night. We just stayed backstage for 2 hours. We done did some dumb shit. Because it's like, Nick, don't get out. He was having so much fun with us. It's like, he felt like he thought, I'm back in the hood. We was kicking it. He didn't want to leave. His tour bus in the alley back there behind Reggie's on 22nd. So I'm like, damn. So me and Six like, we gotta get it's time for us to go type shit. Like, nigga, we ain't about to get caught down like this. So we out of there. He get on the tour bus, right? So in our rear view, we see the colorful shirt, Sean, the Crenshaw nigga. We see him. They run into the bus. Throw the car in reverse. Like, what the fuck? Man, by the time I'm in reverse now, I'm about to turn the car to get back to alley. The lights is blind. The lights is on everybody. It's 6 motherfucking Mexicans. Little niggas. They not big and no big goons. But like I say, like a Dewberry ass nigga standing there trying to talk tough to him. Man, the littlest Mex, I swear to Jesus Christ, ask Ron Pot this. Get in touch with the nigga Ron Pot so he can verify everything I'm saying about this night. Man, knock this big goofy ass straight out on some Chicago shit. Bah! Little nigga. Pack his ass out. He fall out. Bam, he got on big glasses, and his ice outside. Glasses skeet across the motherfucking ice, and his gun skeet across the ice. The Mexicans, they on the ice, fumbling, trying to get to the gun. Couple of them trying to get to the gun. The other shorty just beating the big ass, the Dewberry nigga, they beating him. They Dewberry in his ass, beating him. I'm damn. We done hopped out the car, it's icy. We got 230s on us. Imagine this Nipsey tour bus right here. We see Nip, we see Ron Pop push him in the back. Nipsey tour bus had a room on the back of it. He pushed him in the back of the room, closed the door. These motherfuckers climbing on the bus, like getting on the bus driver scared and like, damn. Now Ron Pop, like, he on the bus, we looking like, what to do? We out there, we trying to line, like, man, Ron Pop just opened the door, jumped off the bus, pack a nigga, bam, still on him. Next Mexican rolled up, wow, stab Ron Pop. We, damn. Then it killed folks. Now I'm like, fuck it, get the blow. Boom, 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 boom. We told Nipsey bus up. But I knew he was in the back of the bus. Now the driver, he on the ground somewhere. But imagine they're climbing on the bus to get to the back to get to him. Man, what, G? Woo, 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 woo. Family, get up out of there.
Was it Latin Kings or somebody? Was it?
I ain't gonna put that on my king brothers. I don't know. I said Mexicans. I don't know what they could have been. Some 2-4. They could have been some 2-6s. I don't know what the fuck they was. Chicago got a lot of Latin gangs. It could have been Latin folks. Could have been some SDs. I don't know. I just know they was Latin descent. I don't even know if they was Mexican. They was Latin descent, and they didn't come to play. And they had on different colors, like blue, purple, red. They had a bunch of colorful shirts on in the winter, and they were T-shirts, folks. So I should have just read like, man, these niggas on some other shit. I just thought they were some concert goers. But no, they was out there, they was trying to kill Nip, man. So more to that story, Ron Paul got left behind, had to go to Chicago Cook County Hospital. He was stabbed though, we got him to the hospital. The big security guard got his nose broke, I think. The Dewberry nigga got it. We gonna call him Dewberry. Dewberry got his nose broke and put back on the bus. Nip sent them home because they next stop was St. Louis, I believe. They had to go like next door somewhere. He is just like him and the bus driver on the bus now. Now I'm calling Big Cuz, my Big Cuz, BMF Big Cuz. I'm calling Big Cuz because this is how we know Nip and all these. This is how I know damn near everybody through Big Cuz. That was Big Meech's partner. Y'all got the niggas need to dig more deep into them. You see what I'm saying? BMF Big Cuz, go look them up. So Big Cuz, I call him like, man, y'all need, tell them niggas in LA they better send somebody with Nip. He by himself. So they put it together, and I think them 60 niggas met him in his next move and made sure everything was smooth because they had a hit on him over their neighborhood, taking some bricks from some cartel niggas.
Crazy.
But yeah, them 60 years, we let off about 30 shots at their ass. And they was like warning. We wasn't trying to really knock shit down because now if we kill someone on this boy bus, and we hit him, like we just really just trying to scare them off the bus and keep their ass from grabbing the Dewberry nigga gun. Cause he capped like he was Dewberry, like he was gonna whoop a nigga and this and that, and got knocked out on the first punch by a little boy. The gun skeeted across the thing. It was horrible, G. They didn't get their hands on his gun. We got his gun back. It was like a life-saving thing. But Nip, that was my man, G. Low-key. Him and Mouse got 2 songs that I just keep to myself on some petty shit, and I'll release them whenever before I die, if I want to.
Yeah, man. Shout out to Say Cheese. Shout out to Big Folks. And now D-Love says she's side-eyeing the whole conversation. Now D-Love, hey, I've heard it from multiple sources that that situation did happen. So, I don't think he's necessarily capping. And she said that right because most Latin kings are Puerto Rican. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I think she's Midwest and everything, so she'll know about that more than me at the moment. But yeah, the bigger question is. The other caveat to this whole situation, they were saying that they were using that tour bus to actually traffic stuff. So I know Big Folks said that they got over on some packages, but could it be that they was trying to get to a load that, could it be that package was on that particular bus at the time and Nipsey didn't know it? Because that's what I'm saying. Nipsey was becoming more successful with his music, and allegedly Big U was still trying to, make street plays, still trying to, do the other stuff that people know him for. So that could be a conflict of interest right there. But basically, what's your thoughts about that whole story, though? You think they capping? You think it's for real? Who's the person that potentially had the product on the bus? Like let me know something.
Man, the way dude told that story right there, you could, it sounded like he telling the truth. You know what I'm saying? Like he don't sound like he lying. I never did hear about that story. You said you heard about it. You know what I'm saying? But the fact that you brought in with Big U probably was still on some street shit, you know what I'm saying? And Nip didn't know nothing about it, you know what I'm saying? Like that's when they was kind of connected together then. Like they was cool at that time, right?
Yeah, because yeah,
man, that's a possibility, Big U probably did.
To be honest with you, at some point, Nipsey was trying to separate ties, from Big U. And to be on the level of what Nipsey was doing, I'm not saying he was on Jay-Z level, but he definitely was getting his bread. He definitely was making his impact on the music game, and he was only getting bigger and bigger. So do you like? Would you believe that he was trying to leave that whole situation, and some of that street stuff was kind of behind him per se? Hell, you there?
Maybe he got him thinking too hard, man.
Shut the fuck up.
Nah, man, like you're stupid. Like, nigga, I'm lagging over here, man. Like, I can't even tell if y'all was asking me a question or y'all was waiting for a response. I don't know. I couldn't hear anything.
I asked you a question. I was asking you, do you think that like basically Nipsey was getting too big for Big U to where that was kind of causing some friction between both of them?
Oh no.
Man, Brian, what's your thoughts about this, man?
All I hear is, do you think? I can't hear shit.
No, I'm like, no matter how hard you may try to get away from certain things, it's still going to follow you either way. Then on the flip side, maybe he was still like dabbling his toe in it just to stay current, you know?
Yeah.
But it just, I don't know, just came back to bite him in the butt or shoot him in the butt, you know.
Yeah, like if Nipsey is making these plays, you know, these legal plays, and if let's just say you don't have the same musical talents and stuff like that, because Big U, he was trying to make his own record label, Unique Music, a thing, but he really didn't have artists to represent him. He didn't have like the proper producers to represent him to actually match or be on the same level as Nipsey. Like, honestly, Nipsey was a star. And once you feel like you're losing, you know, your grips on that star, some people may become desperate to, you know, do different things to sabotage or make sure that they stay, you know. And it's not just Big U, because that's like the whole music industry. Like, they really put people in bad contracts to where they be with them way longer than they should be. And 9 times out of 10, a lot of these people, they're in their prime and then they're not hot all of a sudden because they've been shelved on a record label for so long. So, you know, for Big U to still stay relevant, maybe he did resort to doing other things to, you know, make a lot of money, because like the other stuff, as far as like making sure people was quote unquote safe when they came in from out of town, you don't think he was making money from that, you know? So I believe he was making some bread from like other activities that didn't necessarily have anything to do with music like that. Hey, D Love said Brian off that sugar tonight. Hey, D Love already know, man. Hey, what you over there eating on, Brian?
Oh, man. I can't say, man. Sugar, you know. Straight from Colombia. That's all I gotta say.
That's for the original Coca-Cola.
Hey, but like, okay, you said, look, that situation with the dude that was telling that story, he talking about possibly it was like, you know, something being ran on the bus or something like that.
Yeah.
And you know, like maybe Nip didn't know nothing about that, or did Big U send those dudes to retrieve what was on there? You know what I'm saying?
Hey, that's
like,
a good observation. And that's what I'm saying, bro. Like, the streets are so tricky like that. You can get set up in a situation where you have no idea what's going on, and you just be literally like a sitting duck.
That's why I don't ride MTA now, man.
Like,
shut the hell up,
man. Man, I can tell you some stories on that damn green line, man, and the blue line.
Man.
Oh, I got stories for days, man. Well, me and my buddy, we used to We didn't call them blue line and
Hey, is that
green
dude
line.
still
We called
around
them
the blue
weed
line? He
line.
pulling his eyes out.
Wait, what?
Huh?
Who?
What?
This nigga did what?
Yeah, man,
Nigga
there's a
said
dude on
pulling
the
his
blue line
eyes
used to pull
out.
his eyeballs out. It was yeah, there was like glass eyes or something. They was red. His eyes was red. So you looked at him, he was blind. You know what I'm saying? He was like, "Give me some money. I need some money. You better give me some damn money." He was like, "I told you go give me some money." He'll put his fingers right, bam, then pull his eyes out, and you just see it like right to the crevices of his eyes. Like, oh my god, this dude's crazy. Like, give me some money.
Yeah.
I need some money. Give me some money now. Then he put his eyes back in. Like, god damn. Dude, eyes is red, nigga.
Hell no.
Glass eyeballs, man. You know what I'm saying? With straight red coronas or whatever fuck you call them motherfuckers. Corneas. It's crazy, dude.
So dude straight Googled him,
Y'all
huh?
never seen that dude?
Hell no.
Oh, no, I seen that shit in flesh.
You know what? Speaking of crazy ass stories, bro. Man, I was driving off the 110 and I was getting off on like Imperial and Fig, bro. And I'm talking to you, Corny. You remember what happened when we was getting off on Imperial and Fig, bro?
Was I driving?
Yes, you was driving.
Oh, hell yeah.
A nice left.
Ooh, no, it was to the right. It was to the right. Oh, wait, no, was it? I was making a left. I was making a left, right?
You was making a left, and that right tire went the fuck off.
Hey, we was coming from Hollywood. I remember it. Man, right in the middle of the damn street, bro. Yo, that Cadillac. We made that motherfucking left coming off the freeway. That shit said black. I was like, what the fuck was that? And it just instantly stopped. You know what I'm saying? Oh, god damn. Oh,
man.
Whoa.
Hey, the crazy part about
was crazy, dude.
Yeah, man. We was riding on the 110 freeway, if y'all know, from LA and everything. And we went all the way from let's say borderline Watts area all the way to Hollywood, and we came all the way back. As soon as we got off the freeway, like, and mind you, we on the freeway doing a good 85, right. Sometimes 90. You feel me? Just mashing. But as soon as we get off the freeway and bust a left in that motherfucker, the whole right tire just flew the fuck off and rolled down the street. It was going right and we was going left. And all I heard was because we was riding on fucking rotor. We was three-wheeling that motherfucker on a rotor, you feel me? And yeah, man, come to find out
go round and round, round and round.
That part,
man.
They come to find out the mechanic
man, that was
didn't put the lug nuts on the tire.
Oh yeah. Yeah, we all know who that was.
Hey, damn, I had passed by one of those car shows.
We could have
died, having on
bro.
Crenshaw.
It was on that freeway, like you said, man. We was flying, bro. We could have died that day, man.
Man, you could have really been flying, man.
This so happens.
Man.
Get a curve, just start flipping, man.
Yeah, that was crazy, dude. That was
crazy. Hey, that's a real talk though. Hey, D-Love said an angel will whip y'all guys, and that's real, man, because we was literally was smashing on that freeway, and maybe the fact that we was going so fast.
As soon as the light turned green. Yeah, man. As soon as the light turned green, I just turned left. Black. I'm like, what the fuck was that?
Nigga, that tire's like, fuck this shit, I'm out. Yeah, man. Like, nigga. Man. Man.
That tire popped off saying it's all about family.
Man, I can't take this shit no more. Like, man. Yeah, that's crazy though. Man, I think wait, hold up. That dude Al Prophet did a video, if I'm not mistaken, hold up. It said, did Big U set Nipsey up for 300 kilo cartel ripoff? And this is what I'm saying. Like, let's check this out real quick and then talk about that. And I guess we'll probably be done with that. Hold up. Share. Yeah, man. Me and Corny, we got some crazy ass stories, man.
Oh, hell yeah, man. Hey, look. Go ahead.
No, what you about to say?
I was about to say, man, remember that time I said, hey man, I found this. You was like, what? Where you found what? I was like, yo. I said, come check it out, man.
Crazy chick, nigga.
Yo, that shit was a movie, bro.
That lady was crazy as fuck, bro. Hell yeah.
Hey, she was all right with me. She didn't like you though. For some reason, I don't know.
Hey, that
fuck
chick
out of my ass though.
Ripping. Yeah, I was happy to leave, bro, because I don't know what the fuck was about to happen with her, man. That motherfucker was crazy. Let's get into this video. Yeah. Shout out to Al Prophet. He got a video. Big U set up Nipsey Hussle for 300 kilo cartel ripoff. Now let's see what he got to say, man.
So let's go back to the breakup of Nipsey Hussle and Big U's business. It was always very vague. Like, what was it about? Why did these guys? Because Big U put Nipsey with Steve LaBelle, and they got him going. I mean, Nipsey, we know him at the end of being this entrepreneurial guy with his own team, but he didn't start that way. I mean, Big U played a part in him getting started, and he would talk of big draws. He would constantly reference him, and big draws took me here and hooked up that, and they went out to New York. And so they were rocking, and Big U definitely had a value for the early stages of his career. So they were out on a tour bus doing a promotional tour for Nipsey in the mixtape days. This is right before they broke up. The bus kept getting pulled over.
He sick the police on Nipsey.
I just hit it home. They had 21 people. They think they got him. Anyway, make a long story. He ended up turning himself in, take the case off all of us. He get life, right, for the drugs. When that happened, my team is acting weird. So I'm looking at Steve. I'm looking at Nip. Man, get a paperwork from Sony so they can see that we leasing all this. They acting weird. So, me, I'm still kind of like, hey, I'm hot, hot and heavy, but
Loose Cannon claims Big U was given the information to get the bus pulled over, trying to get Nipsey caught with a gun. Maybe not. I don't know what the strategy of that would be. But what's interesting, you see how excited Big U is talking about it. And if you listen to what he said, it's that a guy he knew had a travel agency, and they were sending people on bus tours to drop off the work, to sell work, and they were getting a big bag. So that's why, and you was tied to this guy, so that's why they kept getting on the bus. They were looking for D-Rugs, and the guy, and they did, and Big U got picked up. A bunch of people got picked up. Big U was not charged. His buddy took the whole case. Now, for the record, for those of us that have had our fate be under a prosecutor's decision, you can't take someone's case. Like, the prosecutor decides who gets charged. Now, a person can say they're the one who did it or whatever, but so I don't know what he means by the guy took everything and got life. He might have been the only one who ended up with life. I don't know what the logistics of that were. Now, so Big U was tied in with a guy who was sending tour buses out under the guise of his travel agency that really had to work on him. Nipsey was doing a tour, a promo tour. Now, I cannot remember who the hell was talking about this.
The Mexicans in Chicago tried to kill Nip.
Yeah. At the concert, Sean, it was fucking 100 Mexicans with colorful Crenshaw shirts on the south side of Chicago. But we went backstage, Nip like, man, hey, keep y'all head up, because, you know, some shit went on back home. He dead now, so I can say it. It's the 60s or whatever, they had robbed the motherfucking cartel for like 300 keys of heroin.
All wearing the same.
And they know he's traveling and this and that, so he was an easy target. They was gonna kill him to hurt the 60s type shit.
We kind of rushed the stage, and then after the thing, they had to run to the tour bus, and there was gonna be some gunplay, or somebody did have to let off some shots. Now that could kind of sound like, remember, this was during the time, well, still, Chicago's, I mean, LA's a hub for work, so is Chicago. In a lower cartoon. Could that have been, and then Big U, we know, likes to rob plugs. That's what he went to prison for back in 91. Extortion charges now. He likes to get stuff and not pay. Could some Mexicans somewhere have been owed some money by Big U and them? Or that guy that was sending the workout on the tour buses? So imagine you got a black guy in LA, you know that he's getting work and he's sending around the country on tour buses. He doesn't pay for a load. He owes. Of course, it's hard, you know, easy to not be found, right? But now they know, oh shit, this rapper that we know this guy is somehow affiliated with or is in the same circuit of people, Nipsey, he's on the road in a tour bus, and we know this guy sends work out on the tour buses. Let's run up on them. So, well, I'll have to investigate that further. Maybe you can give me some help. There's always some.
So that's why I left music. That was really how I left music. And if you look at it, like, if you see where at some point in our music venture, you only see Steve and Nipsey together. You kind of really don't see me no more. And they didn't really know why I had left. But I'm like, if these panicking like this over some that ain't serious, and we in a hip hop game, what if we knock down some?
For real.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, you know, I love Steve death, but I'm like, I got to get away from this. And we weren't making no money then.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so they made no.
And being really pure with my energy. And I was just only doing music. And I was like suffering financially. You know, the police raided the studio and took all the equipment and put a gun on me that was in the house, a shotgun. It was a registered shotgun, but I was on probation for a gun. So, you know, the probation says you can't be around no guns at all. So they booked me for the gun, took all my equipment, and I was really just in there working. You know what I mean? Just like, they don't know that. Nobody know how pure you are but you. And I was really pure at that time. I wasn't doing nothing but music. You know, it kind of discouraged me for a long time.
So if we think that there's evidence that Big U back in 91, because Big U wasn't the head of the drug thing. He was listed as an enforcer, and he did try to stick the guy up. And he got less time than the other guy, his co-defendant in the conspiracy. So he was not the one in charge. He was the enforcer. So then he has a history of being attached to drug rings and being the muscle. But then when things go sideways, him throwing someone under the bus. Well, literally with this Nipsey Hussle tour bus situation, it kind of sounds like that. So that's, and as you saw, Big U said, oh, when I came back, they were all acting funny. Well, gee whiz. People don't want to get searched for guns and get taken into custody and chased by Mexicans in Chicago and asked by the feds about, are you trafficking drugs on these buses? And then he says, oh, we're in the hip hop industry, we might have to lay somebody down. I mean, you're right, you might, but that's what you're thinking about. You should be trying to not have to. Like, that's always right. You always may have to do whatever you have to do, but that shouldn't be what you're thinking about. But that's what he was thinking about. That's what he was really into. he was a guy that he liked the street stuff, which, listen, to be good and make a career in anything, you usually have to like it, right? Some people are just in it for the money, but there's so many opportunities to do stuff in LA. If you're being a criminal, you're into it. You like it. So, I mean, it all kind of makes sense. So Nipsey is like, oh man, this guy has got me being questioned about drugs and guns. And then he himself, his behavior is suspect. Let me get away from this guy. And then he might have been talking bad about, like, oh, what's up with Big U seems suspect, which of course is going to raise Big U's antennas. Big U, as told by Lil Razzie and others, goes over to the studio where Nipsey is to talk about his equipment and ends up throwing a water bottle at Nipsey and hits him. They go outside to fight. Big U's doing his MMA stretching. It's not that Nipsey beat him up. They kind of spar around for a while. Nipsey's smart enough not to let him get too close because Big U is a big guy and trained and all that. It would hurt him if he grabbed him, but he doesn't let Big U grab him. He's much younger. Big U starts to get tired. So they call out another guy, Little Draws. Little Draws and Nipsey go at it a little bit. So he didn't beat up Big U or nothing. But then the other time when Big U makes Nipsey, see, Big U said he went to pick Nipsey up to get his discipline, but they were, from other ways the story is told, they're outside somewhere in the 60s hood and Big U pulls up and is like, yo, get in or something. And a fight starts and Big U and his group is getting the best of Nipsey and the other group, but then Fats pulls up, 5'4", stocky Fats, and he's upset. He just gets out and runs and kamikazes you and puts them out of his pockets. So if your reputation is of the ultimate enforcer on the streets, you're, to use his own terms on the wiretaps, I'm the last OG still killing people. You can't get, literally, it's one thing to dance around with Nipsey and you're old so you get tired, but neither one of you really punch each other. It's another thing for Fats to actually hit you in the chin and knock you down. And listen, anybody can get knocked down because I don't care. There's no muscles on your chin or nose. You catch a blow from a guy who's 250 pounds to your chin or 200 pounds. Or me, if I hit you dead on your chin or nose, you might fall down. So now you got, he's been knocked down by Fats. Nipsey is off of him because of these criminal cases.
Yeah, shout out to Al Prophet, man. And that's the end of his video for some reason. I don't know what the hell happened. Okay. But I'm trying to think. We got D-Love saying, wait, how Buddy know all of this? Some of this stuff has been confirmed by other people, like, Loose Cannon said stuff. And for the fact that Facts isn't here anymore either. That's what I'm saying. There's a lot of stuff that's been going on in that area. And it just make you think, man. It really make you think. Like, what do y'all think about that, man?
Man, like, my thoughts on it, like, Big U, that dude is I don't know what to say about that guy, man. Really, I mean, and the points that it was something that he had mentioned. I can't remember what Al probably was just saying. It was something that he had mentioned in the video about I can't even remember what he was saying. But yeah, man. Dude, Big U, all the wiretaps, bro. He was saying he was saying something on wiretaps. He's the biggest such and such on wiretaps. Like, man, where are these wiretaps at? I mean, I want to hear the wiretaps if they got them. You know what I'm saying? They probably just got the wiretaps on like court files where you can read it or something like that. But I would actually like to hear his voice saying some things.
It's a video out there. I'm gonna have to send you the link and everything, but it's a video where he was talking pretty spicy about how big he was in the set, and basically he is the program and nobody bigger than him. So I do believe you, like you said, like some of this stuff is kind of sealed for court documents, but then some of the stuff got leaked. So I'm pretty sure if it's leaked, I don't think any of that information will be actually submissible for court use and stuff. It may be, it might can, but I've heard some of this stuff that's been said, but
yeah,
it's just a real crazy situation, bro.
And with that Big U trial, man, they gonna have that on like court TV or something like that? Is it open to the public?
I don't think so. When Brian said, sounds like feds were puppeteering Big U to try and get something on Nipsey. Nipsey gets silenced, and now Big U is indicted by the feds. Hey, I'm telling you, conspiracy things that make you go, like that's the crazy part about it. A lot of this stuff eventually is going to come out to the light. It's just going to take a little bit of time, but that don't sound too far off, bro. For real. D-Love said,
with the trial, you know what I'm saying? That trial is going to be interesting because the way I see it is like it's probably going to open up possibly a can of worms. You know what I'm saying?
Of course.
Like for itself. Like he might, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, like right now, there's no true evidence saying that he has something to do with Nip, being unalive and all that. But yeah, man, something like that is probably it's got to be related to somewhere in that trial, dude. It's gonna be mentioned. You know what I'm saying?
They kind of died down with the information, but you remember when he first got locked up and everything, and then like a week or two later, or let's say a month later, they were saying, hey, they got 40 people about to testify against him. So I'm pretty sure some of this stuff has been caught on a hot mic. And then I think you're going to have some people that's going to cooperate and corroborate with some of these stories. So it's going to get very interesting. Very interesting. D-Love said,
yep. I can't wait to see it, man. I hope, like I said, I would love to see it on court TV, man. That's like, that's a real soap opera right there.
Man, a lot of the truth is finally going to come out that because some of these stories is like kind of like he say, she say stuff or whatever. Some are actual facts behind it, but this court case is really going to really solidify a lot of the stuff that's been going on. D-Love said probably got surveillance too. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised, man. With Big U working with the police as far as I think, I don't know if they call it a gridiron or something, but basically like stopping keeping the peace and all that stuff. I'm pretty sure they got
something for the youth or something like that.
Yeah, like gang prevention and stuff like that.
Yeah, that was like that was that was something else Wack was talking about early in the right before he went to jail. Wack was mentioning that a lot. You know what I'm saying? Like he was trying to say that Big U was the snitch. You know what I'm saying? He the one, like, why he ain't went to jail? He ain't never went to jail, this and that. He said because of this. I'm like, man, why this dude all on his balls like that, bro? Calm down, dude.
Man, Brian said, what's the odds of Big U will somehow hang himself or get spanked before the trial? Let's start the betting at 6 to 10 odds. Yeah, honestly, I don't think like Big U is a big factor, but I don't think he has like big secrets that's up there that people will want to silence him from speaking on. Like possibly he could talk about some police corruption, but I don't know. I think he's kind of in a situation where he's already bombarded with so much other stuff to where that even wouldn't even see the light of day.
Right.
So
he's got a lot to focus on.
Yeah. Yeah, we about to wrap it up in a minute. So, hey, Brian, any final thoughts? Corn Deezy, any final thoughts, man?
Yeah, let me see. Well, I can't think of nothing, but I just gotta say, man, you know, for the Big U situation, man, it really don't look too good for him as like his personality as a person, dude. Like, to me, it just seemed like he's following the playbook of Suge Knight. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, just being a bully and trying to bully like the music industry or just bully anything in particular, even with that the tap in thing, you know what I'm saying? You know, you make sure you tap in and all that, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, that ain't nothing but just bully tactics and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're a celebrity, you ain't gotta tap in like that, bro. You know what I'm saying? Just don't go hanging out where them niggas is at. You feel me? Stay your ass over there where the white folks is at. For real. But like I said, man, like it don't look good for Big U, man. You know, like I don't know, man. I don't know what, but it seemed like he ain't getting out of this. He's not getting out of this, dude. It's the feds too. He's not getting out of this. I mentioned this before on a earlier podcast. You know what I'm saying? They conviction rate is over 90%, so it don't look good for him at all.
Yeah, for sure. Brian said we're going to find out about the Big U files. Yeah. D-Love said, but that law you said before could lay him down for the permanent. I know it. Yeah. Yeah. Like they could throw the book at him and he's going to get some football numbers. Yeah, nope, he's not. Yeah, what you got to say, Brian?
Oh, no, I was just laughing at the football numbers.
Yeah, he's going to get a nice, you know, 99 years with the possibility and all that, you know, all that crazy shit.
Huh?
Like, what the fuck? Man, I ain't even going to make 99 years.
He's going to be called for roughing the player, offsides, and unsportsmanlike conduct. Safety.
A flag on a play. Man.
For real.
I'm speaking on Creed. Right. Yeah, man.
Hey, yeah,
Brian's a character, man. This dude be having jokes for days, bro. Man. Yeah, this stuff is looking crazy, man.
He had me going about that part about he should just hang out with the rest of the white people. Somebody tried that once. His name was OJ. Look what happened to him.
Hey, he got off on his case, man. The glove didn't fit, so they must have quit. Man, and thinking about that, like nowadays, like how Johnny Cochran set that up, that dude's the GOAT, man, because this dude had the glove, but he had OJ have one of them plastic gloves underneath that glove. Like that's really gonna make it fit. Like, come on, bro, that's already gonna make it, you know, harder to put on type shit. So,
but not only that, the theory that it was another theory that there was so much blood that it shrunk the leather over time.
Damn, you think so?
Yeah.
Hey, the craziest theory I heard.
Yeah.
One of the craziest ones I heard is they gave OJ something like to fatten him up, like a allergic reaction. So his hands puffed up and his face puffed up, so he couldn't fit the gloves because they knew that was coming up. So they gave him something so he was gonna like puff up.
So he could retain water and all that stuff.
Who did
it? It was Kato, man.
Who did it? That man,
Johnny Cochran.
Kato, he was kicking back with that dog, man. Man. That's who OJ did that. There's another theory though, man, that his son might have done it.
Yeah, they're saying that he's going to culinary school and all that. But
Or
hey,
he was the second
rewind that.
person.
You really think OJ did that? And he's a ex-football player that walk all slow and stuff. So you telling me he had the strength to get two people?
Hey, it's not about walking, man. It's just about having the flexibility in your upper body. I
don't know, bro.
Yeah, I mean, he was a football player, dude.
And that's
what about the cut on his finger that happened to be,
You talking about the paper cut?
Here.
Like, I don't know. I'm just thinking about it. He's an older retired football player that used to running, tackling, and shit like that, to where he's not going to be in the best physical shape.
Cut.
Huh?
What no paper cut? That was an open slash wound, dude. That thing was
pretty much open. I'll just fuck with you on stitches. That. Yeah,
somebody get color on this.
Old boy Ron Goldman, he did karate, so that's going to be kind of a difficult person to deal with. And okay, Nicole, she's a female. That ain't going to be that much of a struggle. But you telling me you get two of them, it is just you.
Yeah. You take out the stronger first, man.
Yeah,
then you take
OJ doing that.
Yeah, of course, take out the stronger one, the more of a threat. But I don't know, bro. Like, but they did have stories that there was multiple people. They were saying some white guy actually admitted to doing it. I don't know that really went under the radar. I heard the theory they were saying like the son did that also, because he was working in culinary school and he had the tools to use something that was similar. And then I heard about the cartels with the Colombian necktie, because like she owed some dealer some money and stuff like that, and they went to go collect. So I heard a lot of the theories and shit, so I don't know.
OJ.
Why don't someone just ask OJ, man? Oh wait, you can't.
Yeah, that part, fool. Damn. But yeah, man. Maybe we need to talk about that next, man.
Great.
Man, how many years has this been, dude? Since that happened?
Do some research on that, huh?
That happened like what, mid-90s, like 98?
30 years? Yes.
Let me look that up.
Yeah, that had to be like over 30 years, man. My first son was born when that shit happened.
I think it was like
they saying that it happened in 1995. The trial.
Yep, 95.
Yeah. So that was a long ass time ago, bro. And then, like, if he was really that guilty, we about to close it out. But if he was really that guilty, how come Mark Furman had to do all that crazy stuff by planting evidence and doing all this other shit, bro?
Yeah, dude, that right there. Yeah,
like, you know what? I guess
he was really trying to get him. maybe he thought that he's gonna get away with this, and we make sure he don't get away with it. I mean, I don't know. But
another black celebrity.
It was found out, that he was a fucking racist. So that's later we find out he was a racist. But that might have a lot to do with it. You know what I'm saying?
But hey, you know what though?
Black man with a white woman.
You know what though? It didn't help his case too when he wrote that book, If I Did It.
Oh, hell nah. Hell nah.
Oh, yeah.
If anything, I would have wrote a book.
But he was still
I did not
though.
Because that just automatically put on doubt in people's mind. Then, like, oh wait, he said he didn't do it, but then he writes a book that if he did,
he was playing too much on that.
Yeah,
he was playing. He was playing too much.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. But hey, I think we're gonna talk. We probably gonna wait. What?
I was gonna say Bill Cosby wrote a book too called "I Did Do It with Jello Pudding Pops."
This fool is stupid, man. Man, yeah, we might talk about that on Tuesday, man. We might have like a mixed bag and talk about like 3 different topics. But yeah, man, I appreciate everybody for pulling up and coming out, showing support and everything. And shit, we're gonna catch y'all on the next one, man. Peace.